Good afternoon, my favorite well-flavored faux noodles. Oh, okay, let me get all the way into the light because, yeah. All right, y'all. Hey. So, to continue on with some of the more lighthearted readings that I'm going to do on the younger girls, the it girls, the new it girls. I am about to do JT. Actually, just decided before I start doing this reading, and I was meditating on JT, that I liked her because I identified her influence is Jackie O. Jackie O is one of my favorite rappers. She's not one of the more well known from Florida, but if you know, you know. And I identified JT's song Sideways. I like that song because of the Change Gonna Come influenced by Jackie O. And if JT ever hears this, she knows exactly what I'm talking about, because in the first verse of Change Gonna Come by Jackie O, y'all go ahead and Google that song. I would play it, but I don't want no copyright strikes on my channel again, because I got one when I played Big Pimpin'. But she says, bitch, I ain't friendly, and I'm PM messing, and my phone ain't on, and my light man stressing it. And so, and even the chorus of her verse is the same flow and cadence of voice that JT used. Just a time bomb ticking, ready to set it off. Got something on my chest, I'm ready to get it off. I want to live healthy, I want to live good, but they want to sweep a bitch like me up under the wood. That's the same voice that JT is using, that same low, hoarse voice. Jackie O all day. So if y'all want to understand who JT is as an artist, go to YouTube, or since you're already on YouTube, after you finish this video, type in Jackie O, JACKI-O, Change Gonna Come, and listen to that, and listen to her other shit. Change Gonna Come, 70 bars. It wasn't just the song Nookie and the song she had with the Yin Yang twins. It's the stuff that she's not well known for, but I know that that's who JT's influence is. And Jackie O was my favorite rapper even when Nicki Minaj came on the scene, and well afterwards. I didn't really become like interested in Nicki Minaj as like, okay, I dig her until recently, until this era. I liked her before. I recognized her talent before, but I always just felt like I was into a more mature rap, and she was heading into like that pop stuff, and I was just like, okay, she's doing her thing. But I liked Jackie O, and then I just start digging a lot of guy artists. But anyways, I'm gonna do this reading on JT. I'm just going to inquire because now she is coming out, preparing herself as a solo artist, and I want to see where she's at with that. Getting ready to do her own tour, which I think is great artist development. I think that it is lacked in the industry. I like how she is humble enough to get out there and grind. I think I've seen some comments in like the posts about her tour that she's being mentored well by Nicki Minaj. I agree with that. I think that she studies the way Nicki Minaj grew her fan base by a lot of mixtapes, a lot of features, just putting out a lot of content, and also being engaged physically, performing her shows and with her fans. And I think that's the way to go about it if you want longevity in the industry. So anyways, Jatavia JT. What just fell out? Well, this was her and Carisha as a group. They had no control as a group. Who we saw JT as in City Girls is not who JT wanted to be as an artist. It's who they had to be per their brand, per their current management deal or whatever, their current contract. I think that who the City Girls are is more of who Carisha is, not JT. That fell out. I think JT always wanted to leave the group. Now, I pulled this because it's the only card facing up while I'm mixing the cards. So I think she always anticipated the day that she would leave the group, because I think JT wanted to take music more seriously than the City Girls was told to take music. Like, they had an image, they had a trajectory. They were there. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm just trying to fix my robe. They were there for the sole purpose of creating a stream of income for Coach P, whoever they were signed with. It was per contract, but that wasn't who JT was. JT, Jatavia. Every time I say her name, every time I call her, the sun shines brighter on my face. I can feel it. JT, Jatavia. She says, I'm coming. And I think that's a double entendre. I'm coming. Stepping out into the spotlight on her own, as her own, and no one else's shadow, not the shadow of the City Girls. I really want y'all to Google Jackie O Change Gonna Come, because that's gonna tell you what you can expect from JT moving forward. Jackie O Change Gonna Come. In any of her songs, Change Gonna Come, 70 bars specifically. That's gonna tell you where JT is going, how she's going to sound and flow and shape herself as an artist. Now, ironically, this is just a Jackie O fact. That song Change Gonna Come is on the last album that she did before she became a Christian and went to the church. And if you listen to the lyrics, she is talking about everything that she was going through trying to make it in the industry and in her life. And I remember, because I'm old enough to remember, how she felt she was done by Po' Boy, by Briscoe specifically, and how she wrote all of her music and her material and things like that, and they took the money and didn't do right by her. And I don't think that she wanted any parts of the industry if that's how it was. I like JT, and I'm just getting my personal bias out of the way. I like JT because her influence is Jackie O. But I in my heart, I feel like JT's like, I'm going to pick up the baton where Jackie O left off, take what she learned in the industry and take what I learned from my current mentors in the industry and and go the long way. For Jackie O. JT, I need to get Jackie O's energy off. Maybe I don't, because I think that has a lot to do with who JT is shaping herself to be as a solo artist. Jackie O. All right, JT, now that you're here, because I know you are, talk to me about your new solo endeavors. Has it always, like I think it has, been in your plans to go solo? What persuaded you to do so now? Just talk to me about your new solo endeavors outside of the City Girls, JT. Your new tour, which I believe is more of a long, an extended meet and greet, just to build relationships with fans. It's less about the music and more about the interaction. JT, talk to me about your solo endeavors now that you are coming out of the City Girls and pursuing a solo career, and also talk to me about how that affects your relationship with Carisha. JT is nervous. I got this card for Summer Walker, and this was her being anxious, nervous about her new music coming out. Both of those girls give me, real particular, I'm an artist and I'm sensitive about my shit. They give me that. So when they are getting ready to put their material out there, they're very nervous about how it's going to be received more than anything. I also think that Carisha has a lot of, since I asked about Carisha, when it comes to Carisha, I think that her and JT are cute with each other. However, there is underlying animosity that they don't address because they keep it cute with each other. But Carisha makes comments, and she and her crew makes comments that are not favorable to JT. They're very sideways shade. They're like underhanded compliments. And JT doesn't seem like she wants to address it head on. She seems like she deals with them when she has to, and then she doesn't deal with them. And I mean Carisha and her crew. I think she is happy to distance herself from Carisha. And I think that I've said this before, either in a video that I did or in one of the readings I did on Carisha and them, the City Girl reading I did of them actually on my community page. The Diddy situation did come in between them because Carisha got really, really, really grand with everybody when she was with Diddy. And now, like I seen people saying that Carisha felt she made that post the other day seeking sympathy because of JT. I think that JT may think she may be weary of Carisha too. She knows Carisha more than we do, and I think she knows that Carisha likes for the attention to be on her. And even though Carisha tries to hide her disdain by still complimenting, I think it's one of those situations like you can tell when somebody's really jealous of you or doesn't see it for you, even if they're friendly with you and complimenting you, because even their compliments will kind of reek of shade. Challenging Carisha, the Knight of Cups reverse. I think this is either Uzi or this is her fear about actually releasing music. It gives me, I'm doing this, I'm pushing myself to do this because really I'm too scared. She really wants to be in the spotlight, but JT really is really, really, really scared. And it's ironic because I think she's good. In the recent past, she was well received enough for her to put together this endeavor. Like I said, I think she pushes herself to do things because if she doesn't, her fear would get in the way of her accomplishing any of her goals. And I heavily identify with that. So I think she had a lot of applause from people that matter to her. And the people that don't matter, you know, they didn't, because like I said, the people who did matter to her were gagging her. Solange. I even feel Beyonce, because I was about to say Beyonce instead of Nicki Minaj. I do think that behind the scenes, whether we've seen it or not, she did get some kind of, okay, girl, from Beyonce, rather verbally, outright, or rather even Beyonce think, you know, either, or if it was even Nicki Minaj and Solange saying, even Beyonce, you know, F's with you. And you guys don't think that Solange picking up on JT doesn't have anything to do with her rapport with Nicki Minaj, for all the people who think it's outright war between Beyonce and Nicki Minaj. I've said it before, just in passing, that I think Beyonce still likes Nicki Minaj, but because of her husband's interest, she can't gag Nicki like she wants to outwardly. I think they're okay though. And I do think that Nicki Minaj being the one to champion JT got her into a lot of other doors. Now, I do think Solange absolutely adores JT, but I'm just saying her relationship with Nicki did benefit, and I think those are the people who were telling her, you have the talent, do it. And so all the other people, like the people in the comments who ask her why is she going on tour with 3 songs, and that could be what this is, not having a lot of material to pursue and being insecure about that too. And I think, JT, what challenges you is that instead of just getting in the booth and being creative, you put too much effort into how it's going to be received. Like you'll record something and ask 1,000,001 people if they like it, And then if they be like, yeah, it's hot, put it out, you'll be like, okay, but this person didn't say yes with the all the emojis and stuff, so it's not that good. Something about you gets in your own way of your own creativity because you are always in the creative flow, but rather you put all of that material that you actually record out is another thing. In the near future, JT is going to be preparing heavily for her gig, and not only her gigs, but to build her career the hard way, but the long way. The 10 of Wands, she's going to be putting in the grind, putting in the hustle, putting in the work, because 10, she wants longevity. She wants full completion. So she's willing to get out there in the community and grind the way she saw her mentors do it. Challenging her, there's always the idea that she won't be successful, but a lot of that insecurity comes from her time as a city girl, because the challenge would be winning over the people who saw her as JT the city girl and getting them to buy into her as JT the solo artist, because she's going to introduce us to someone more lyrical, someone who, again, Jackie O, listen to her, because even though she made, rah rah Miami girl music, she had lyrics that meant things. And because JT referenced Change Gonna Come, which is one of my favorite, rap songs of all times, especially from a woman, because of how much of herself she put into it. You could hear how much she was literally screaming, when a change gonna come, somebody to, she was talking about all her words. These niggas that they labels, they playing with my paper, I'm about to explode, I got no more patience. Y'all better quit fucking with me, because if fucking with me, and I'm telling you right now, I'm gonna be touching. Listen, it was so much passion, so much pain in that song, and then after that, she left the industry completely. I felt that shit. JT wants to give y'all that, but that is not what we were introduced to as a city girl. We were introduced to fuck niggas, I prostitute myself out for a bag, da 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 da. And that is not who JT wants us to see her as an artist. She wants to be taken seriously. So the challenge isn't her coming in as a new artist who's introducing us to themselves as a solo artist, and they're giving us the brand that they want to start with and what they want to be known for. She's having to tell y'all, "Sight guys, I wasn't really just, pop pussy, fuck niggas, let's go to the mall. I actually have something to say. I'm actually a beast at this. I'm actually somebody to be taken seriously." I think another thing that gets in her way is how people are going to receive her and shed their image of her from a city girl. But again, JT, people always called you the more lyrical one. So I don't think they'll be surprised at the you that you present to us. I think that the more you get in your own way, the more you give people reason to speak doubt into you. But despite all of that, and like I said, JT is going to take this opportunity she has and run with it. This is a really positive reading, but I guess it's because of what I asked. I didn't ask her about what's going on in her personal life. I asked about her as a solo artist. Currently, JT is... Now, I think she is trying not to address Carisha, because I think that she does identify what Carisha posted online as like, girl, don't get mad because the attention ain't on you anymore. This is JT taking her solo opportunity. This would be Carisha, the Aquarius air sign, indirectly giving something that's not positive energy. And JT clocks it. She clocks it. She may address it behind the scenes. I do see Carisha, though, genuinely, allegedly, not being okay with JT going solo, because I think she feels that JT will eclipse her because she is talented. and she has strong people behind her on her team, like the likes of the Knowles and the Menages and JT, and now Carisha, who was the more favored one socially, is now on the opposite end. External to Carisha, I mean JT, she doesn't care. She is leaving the City Girls, and Uzi is fully supporting her. Uzi actually is another in that JT had in with the Knowles family. JT, Lil Uzi Vert is very, very, very much supportive of JT's solo career. He never saw it for Carisha. He never saw it for the City Girls. He's one of JT's biggest supporters as a solo artist, and he is going to help guide her, and help navigate her from a City Girl to JT. I even mentioned that in my City Girl reading on my community tab. I'm going to try to find a way to get out of the sunlight in a second, y'all. Hold on, y'all. We're just going to have to vibe out like this, y'all, because I don't know. Is this better? I don't know if it's better for me. All right. Oh, well, you guys, it's a glare, and it is going to stay. This was there. This was her current energy. Okay. All right. Hopes and fears. JT hopes that all of her hard work is going to pay off. And the hard work that she's doing is going to take her to a long lasting, stable career. Her outcome, now I hope this isn't her and Uzi breaking up, because I just said he was going to help navigate her. So maybe if it isn't Uzi, it's someone else, but this could be the permanent breakup of the City Girls as well. I want to start there. I actually, looking at the bottom of the deck, I think this is the City Girls breaking up permanently. But let me see. Let me make sure this ain't her and Uzi when I just said. I don't know if it's Lil Uzi Vert. I honestly think that it is the permanent breakup of the City Girls. And when I say permanent, I mean legally as well. Freeing JT from her obligations as a City Girl. I think that she was in a contract, so she couldn't officially launch, which is why that song that she put out was on the City Girls' last album. Because she put it out, even though it was a solo project, she was still a City Girl. I think somebody is helping her, coaching her. And so since JT has a tour coming up in her near future, I think that someone is helping her out of her legally binding obligation with the City Girls, and JT will officially be free and able to go on as a solo artist. Yes, 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 yes. She will be free from Liar Cohen, QC. She will be free. This is turning in her favor, because somebody was holding her hostage and holding her back in unfavorable circumstances, wasn't allowing her to put out the music that she wanted to. And I actually think that was QC. I think that they gave her a little bit of PTSD and low self-esteem, because they constantly talked low of her and reminded her that Carisha was the brand. And I think that now that she is out of that and around people that are speaking life into her, she's going to be free from the City Girls. Let me look into her near future, her tour, and her, yes. She is finally, because she's been wanting to do this. She's been wanting to put out music, but she had to get out of whatever legal situation, legally contractual situation that was causing her to not be able to move how she wanted to as a solo artist. JT is a Sagittarius. This is a fire sign woman. She's about to get out there and grind. Again, I think Lil Uzi Vert, or maybe even Jay-Z, maybe Lil Uzi Vert learned some things from Jay-Z and told Carisha some things about how to navigate her contractual obligations, possibly. I think that's Lil Uzi Vert. I don't know his sign, but if he's a fire sign as well, then that's him. Let me look into the Six of Swords, because I want to make sure that they're not breaking up and that he's supporting her. Temperance in reverse, Eight of Pentacles. He did not lie. I agree. He did not like Carisha. This is Carisha. They did get into it before. They exchanged words. They never liked each other. And I'm talking about Lil Uzi. They never will like each other. And Lil Uzi Vert is more than happy to help his boo get out of that situation, especially because Carisha being involved with her, it's like he always told her he didn't like her for these specific reasons, because he's seen something nasty in her. He's seen something that's nasty enough for Carisha to do whatever she can to continue to be the star at the expense of JT. And I think that Carisha's doubt, JT's doubt, like Uzi was just like, man, you better than her. Like, she gonna drag you down. And when I say that, I'm gonna go to the Chariot in reverse, crowning her, because I think that is her now wanting to get out of the City Girls before Carisha's legal situations and ties with unsavory people and dealings puts her in a worse situation due to them being legally, contractually bound. Hierophant, opportunity, move on. Behind the City Girl being her obstacle and that crowning her, Carisha got an opportunity. She got some industry connects that hooked her up and gave her an opportunity and helped her see a way out. The only problem was she was stuck in a contract, not making any money, not able to release any music. However, I see that ending for her. I see that contract ending for her. Let me look into the Six of Wands, and then I'm going to end it. Oh, I'm going to look into that Knight of Swords in reverse, too. I want to see who this is gassing her up and influencing her to be bold. I think that Solange, when she was out with Solange, now this isn't Solange. I think Solange and a lot of people were telling her, you got to get out of this City Girls. I think that she may have had opportunities to make a move before. People were telling her to do it, but she, for some reason, was hesitant to stand up for herself, probably due to fear. That JT is your biggest and worst. Fear is the devil. I tell people all the time, the only devil is fear. They were telling her, you got to get out of this sinking ship before it takes you down with it. You are the talent of the group. You don't need to be tied to this tower moment waiting to happen and already happening. You are the one. And Carisha is just going to destroy you. Air sign card. They were telling her, get out while you can, because she is about to go down legally, allegedly. And these were people who know, the Solanges, the Noses. When she was courting with these people over at Paris Fashion Week, hanging out at the Symphony with Milan, they were putting her up on, at the Symphony in Milan with Solange. They were putting her up on game, like, get out now. Launch your solo career. Get out of your contractual obligations of that group now. Now, let me look into this card that I believe is Carisha. and then I'll end it. Now, I do think this is Carisha, even though it's the King of Swords, because she's fully aware that she's saying things that are swords. Even though she's giving us sympathy and payola, Carisha sees her star falling permanently. Also because she was implicated by Rodney in a legal situation. So she is looking for attention online, yes, to take away from JT. In an indirect, pussyfoot way. It's a hoe-ass way. Whatever she says about being supportive of her friend, she don't mean that shit. Justice in reverse. It's almost like I ain't really supposed to be mad at JT because she's doing what's best for her, but everybody abandoning me because they think I'm about it. It's like Carisha's having a moment of reckoning, and that is difficult for her. So she's lashing out because JT ain't being caught up in the bull, and now JT is being supported by very important people who are cleaner than the people who she was dealing with. And she's getting ready to do a solo tour, and all the spotlight and attention is going to be on her. She doesn't like it. I agree with that. She doesn't like it. On my card for that. Because when they were a group, at some point, she was the more valuable one. And she feels like that's what the dynamic between them has always been. How dare JT, upset the balance between them when she knows she's always the one who's supposed to have the attention. Nobody is here to see you, Otis. That's how Carisha really feels about JT. Ain't nobody here to see you, Otis. They're here for me. And she almost feels like it's not fair. We got something else coming out about Carisha that we don't know about, involving some sexual stuff. We'll hear about it again in more detail. We'll hear about Carisha a little bit more again in regard to some sexual stuff, that deviant sexual stuff she was involved in, and maybe not deviant, but some freak shit. So with that being said, that is my JT reading. Love you. Bye.